It has been a few years since we've seen this kind of December heat hitting the southeast. I think for many areas it's the hottest December day, some of the hottest December days since sort of 2 or 3 years. But we certainly are seeing very high temperatures. Yesterday we saw them mainly hitting South Australia and Victoria, many areas in the high 30s to low 40s. Adelaide hitting 41 degrees. Already very hot in New South Wales, but for New South Wales, for Sydney, we are expecting those hottest conditions to come through over the next few days. So Sydney is heading for the mid-30s at least today. We should be hitting 40 degrees or possibly 41 degrees through some of those western suburbs. High 30s for Canberra, as you mentioned, with those hot conditions really continuing through the weekend. And as we're all aware, when we get those hot days, especially with those warm nights in between, that's when we see the heatwave conditions coming through. And certainly widespread severe intensity heat waves are forecast over the coming days. Pockets of extreme heat wave for the south coast and Illawarra as well for tomorrow. So it's just a time where communities really need to focus on staying cool, staying hydrated and staying safe.
Absolutely, good advice. It certainly also makes us think about the fire weather heading into the weekend in particular. Where have you got your eye on this weekend?
So we do have high fire dangers for much of the southeast over the next few days. But today we do have extreme fire dangers forecast for the Murraylands and Riverland districts of South Australia and for the Wimmera and Mallee of Victoria. Now, it's still very warm in those areas. Even though we are seeing that heat moving towards New South Wales, we're still reaching the high 30s, if not 40 degrees in many of those areas, with fresh west-northwesterly winds shifting southwesterly today. Really, that heat combining with the freshness in the winds and dry conditions are really ramping up those dangerous fire conditions. So it's definitely a time, particularly in those extreme fire danger districts, to be aware of that risk and to be sensible with your behaviour.
Absolutely. Miriam, your earrings are getting ready for next week, I can see. Can you give us a bit of an idea of what Christmas Day is going to look like around the country?
Yeah, so look, starting on the east coast, first of all, unfortunately, we may see a few showers or storms for Brisbane, currently forecasting a top of 33 degrees, but we're looking at some much wetter weather further north through Queensland, so one to watch out for there. Moving down the east coast, Sydney is looking fairly mild, currently expecting a top of 25 degrees with a few isolated showers. A little bit warmer for Canberra, we're heading for a top of 29 at this point in time, sunny skies there. It will be cool in the far southeast. Tasmania are looking at temperatures in the teens, Hobart heading for a top of just 17. Melbourne looking at 19 degrees. A few showers in those areas too. Dry and mild for South Australia, heading currently for a top of 26 degrees in Adelaide. On the west coast, it will be hot and dry. Perth currently heading for a top of 39 degrees for our Christmas Day. And as usual for this time of year, up in Darwin, we are heading for showers and storms, currently looking at a top of 32 degrees.